So Pop's getting excited. He's ready. This is for Xander and Sis.
Hello, hello, hello. Testing 1, 2, 3.
All right, so welcome to Bullshh-it. I am Christy Grable,
And I am Larry Grable.
and we have a special guest today.
Our first guest ever.
Yes.
Yay!
That's so exciting.
It's Poppy. He's here for our daughter's graduation. And so we decided we wanted to pick his brain a little bit, just learn a little bit about him and fire away.
Yeah, it's for the
It's for the children.
it's for the
Yeah, like
children.
we say, you know, this is Grable shit. We don't really care. We don't give a shit if you listen or not. We're going to do this for us and have fun with it. And so we wanted to get Poppy's voice recorded, get some stories
for the kids.
For the kids to have, yeah.
So let's start out, Poppy, with how did
beginning.
It's a very good place to start.
Yeah.
How did you and Grammy meet?
At the grocery store.
The grocery store.
She was the check casher and the money counter, and
She ran the damn place.
Yeah.
Which is typical of everything involving her.
and
Yes.
she really did.
Yeah.
It
So
was-
let me ask this. I want the beginning. The beginning.
Oh, like we're going even back.
Yeah, where were you born?
Hillcrest Hospital
In Tulsa, Oklahoma.
in Tulsa.
And what's your birth date?
81055.
55. Damn, you're old.
Man,
I'm headed there.
shots fired, huh?
The people at in the emergency room actually knew me by my first name because I had injured myself so many times.
Oh yeah. Put your arms up so the kids can see your elbows.
Yeah.
No, they won't forget that.
No, they won't.
Yeah, that's funny that they knew you on a first name basis.
They
That's
did.
hysterical. And so Hillcrest Hospital.
Yeah.
So where'd you grow up?
On the south side of, or the southwest side of Tulsa. And then I moved to Jinx when I was like 13.
Oh, okay. I
12.
didn't know that. I thought you grew up in Jinx.
No, I grew up actually on a real busy street back then before they built all the super highways.
Ah.
Yeah.
What street was it?
33rd.
Oh yeah, 33rd West Avenue.
Yeah.
Oh, where my aunt and uncle live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I grew up there, 4717 South 33rd West Avenue was my actual address.
That's crazy.
Oh, that
I
is
grew
so
up by a landmark called Bundy's Burgers.
Mm.
The best burgers in creation.
Well,
Yeah.
except for the ones you had last night.
Oh, yeah.
Big Larry Burger.
Who can dispute, right?
That's so funny.
So
Yeah.
13, that would have been 65, 68 is when
Yeah.
you moved over to Jinx.
Right. 8th grade.
So you were there there wasn't 79 was the first state championship football, if I remember right.
When I went there, they were 0-10 the year before.
Oh, good Lord.
That's how bad that was.
So we all actually went to the same high school. We all went to Jinx, and it's a football factory.
Yes.
It's amazing what that school's been able to accomplish. Strangely enough, ever since my class graduated.
Oh my gosh,
Well,
that's so funny.
The difference being we had 3 good players. You probably had 20, right?
Yeah.
We had about 3 good football players.
Yeah. Well, you know, Xander just went through that with football at his
Yeah.
school. It was a rough season.
It was a rough season. Okay, pause.
I went to Jinx before it boomed. It was getting ready to boom, but it hadn't. I was like 2 years ahead of the boom.
Wow.
Right before the big boom, there was about where Arby's is now. Remember that corner?
Yeah.
Across the street from Arby's, where that little strip thing was, it was a get and go.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah,
and go.
and I walked before we moved there. Me and my whole family took a drive, and we went into the get and go.
Okay.
Before we moved, like 2 days before, and I went in there, and there was the biggest human being I ever saw in my life, who had muscles, you know, out here.
Yeah.
I went at the car. I said, "Dad," I said, "This is a different. This is a different." One of them old country boys, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Because at that time I was a football superstar when I moved to Jim's.
Oh yeah.
Right, and they're 0-10, and
Yeah.
they're down and they're out, and that was the first big guys that I saw. And I told my dad, I said, "Dad, this is a different little kind of cat we got
He
going
said,
here."
"Oh shit."
Yeah.
Oh, my
Come to
gosh.
find out, that guy was a dumb country
Yeah.
hick but he could play ball.
Oh my gosh.
So he did.
Did you play football?
Huh?
Did you play football?
Yeah, but when I got there, they didn't know me from nobody. Now, I made a name for myself when we got like to the 9th and 10th grade.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I remember the football, because I told him I wasn't going to play. And he said, "Oh, hell yes, you are." And I tried, but they wanted me to play on the line. I'm not big enough to be a lineman now.
Yeah.
Let alone
Yeah,
back
that's
then.
true.
I was a defensive guru. I played defensive end, and I slayed. I got my name in the paper.
Yeah, that's awesome.
In the little 8th grade, 9th grade paper. I was the guy.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
So fun.
But when I went there, bless his heart, he's in the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, but he couldn't stand me.
What was his name? Red
Rogers.
Rogers, yeah.
He coached at back then the old OSU. I think they called him
A&M.
A&M.
Oklahoma
Exactly.
A&M, yeah.
Exactly.
He didn't like you?
Oh, he hated me with a passion.
Wow.
He thought he loved me, but when he got to know me, he couldn't stand me. I didn't get to play a damn down hardly. But in the 9th grade, see, when I went there, that something Bunyard was the coach, and he saw my potential, and I played every down and out, and I was kick ass, and Red Rogers loved me. And then I went
Till he got to know you.
till he got to
Kind of
know
like the rest of us.
yeah, and
He love you till you get to know him, and then
he could care less if I lived or died.
Oh my gosh.
It
So-
ruined my attitude. I quit playing football and strictly baseball after that. And then I had to go to other schools to play, other teams in Tulsa. But I was a star there. But I couldn't hit.
He said he
Couldn't
couldn't.
get the field, but I can't hit it, couldn't he?
Yeah.
So after high school, went to the Navy, right?
I waited a year.
Okay.
I went to the Navy and found out it was a culture shock. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't met New York people. I hadn't met California people. I hadn't met nobody. And I went there, and it was, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Just, you know, you go there with your prejudice in mind.
Yeah.
You're going to hate everybody that's not from Oklahoma. You're going to hate them. And come to find out that some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life came from deep New York City.
Yeah.
From the hoods.
Yeah.
They were great.
They come from everywhere.
Yeah.
In the military, it's pretty amazing. It's a really cool.
Yeah.
Melting pot.
And you gotta sleep beside those people, and you sleep with one eye open.
Trust
And
those people? Yeah.
you do for the first week. You say, "Hey,"
Yeah.
you know. And then the next morning, I flew up there and I went to boot camp. And I'm sleeping my ass off. I hadn't got to sleep for 24 hours, and I'm sleeping, and some asshole come in there with this trash can and threw it down the middle of the aisle. Drop your cocks and get your socks. I said, "What the fuck? Are we gonna?" And we went out.
Went out running, huh?
It was. You would not believe. If y'all think you've ever felt cold, go to Chicago at Great Lakes and feel that wind coming off of that water.
I've been there.
I went up there in a t-shirt. It was April the 1st. I went in my Oklahoma outfit. I've got my t-shirt on, and they have no fucking mercy. We're gonna stand out in this cold. And when we got out, we circled the airport like for 10 hours. It felt like because of the snowstorm that
Uh-huh.
come through. And so they throw us on a bus and they take us to, and you're driving through, it's like going to prison almost. You know, you're driving through the compound and then guys are out there shoveling snow with little shovels, you know.
Little trench shovels?
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
And that was my first night there, and that fucker came in with that trash can, and it was.
I love it.
How scary. You were like,
Oh.
what the hell just happened?
Yeah, you're from Oklahoma. You don't know this shit.
Yeah, so we're going to take a little break right now.
Okay.
We have to take a sponsor break.
Okay.
We'll be right back after this message from our non-paying sponsor. Hey, that was my last one.
Sorry, I didn't see your name on
I shouldn't have to label my beer.
it. Relax, son-in-law. I'll make it up to you.
How's that?
I got a guy. We all got one, right?
Yeah.
I got a guy who can get some great beer. You know, the good stuff.
Yeah? What kind?
You'll see. Meet me in front of the driveway in an hour.
Cut to an hour later. Enter into the, was it liquor store? Yeah, rundown liquor store on the edge of town.
Hey, Joey, you got that good stuff we talked about.
Yeah, but it's gonna cost you.
Well, you know I'm good for it.
Joey hands Jack a six-pack of beer wrapped in brown paper. Jack hands over some cash, and the two men exchange a knowing look. Fade to son-in-law's backyard.
What is that? It smells amazing.
It's the good stuff. I had to go on a little adventure to get it.
Yeah, quite the adventure.
What do you mean?
Your dad drank my last beer and then dragged me to the bad part of town to buy more.
Dad, why'd you do that?
I was just trying to make things right.
Honey, let it go.
Fine. This taco truck beer lager made in Turlock, California is damn worth the drive over the bad part of town.
I told you.
Okay, and we're back. Thank you, Taco Truck, for that non-paid commercial. Woo!
Put back in my Eddie Koozie.
That was
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Thank you, Scenecrafter.com. SCENECRAFTR.com.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
Yep. So Xander's manager is the creator of Scenecrafter.com, and so I was like,
One of the things I love is how we'll just be all sitting around talking about something, and Pop will be like, "Well, when I was in Greece," and I'm like,
yes,
"The hell,
he's
when were you
gone,
in Greece?"
he's gone everywhere.
He's like, "Well, you know, Greece is a really good place, but Italy's a little better." You know, he just comes up with these places. I'm like, "What? When were you there?" And he's like, "I was in the, when I was in the Navy." And I think that's the cool thing is like,
All the places you got to see.
yeah, you get to see a lot of different places.
What's the prettiest
fun.
place?
Huh?
The prettiest place.
Polynesian France. That was probably the eye popper, where I said, okay, I see why. I was down in the busy part of town. Everybody was going to a, what's that place where they always gamble?
A casino?
Yeah, I mean, it's a casino.
Oh,
but-
like Montecasino? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and,
So I was half right.
yeah. And people were hustling and bustling and,
Yeah.
they're talking the wrong language. You don't understand.
The wrong language.
You don't understand what they're saying, but they're having a good time.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And they're all rushing to get to that casino, and we were rushing to get to the motel, and we had this great balcony where we looked over and
Oh, that's awesome.
and you saw the sailing ships, and there was a lot of rich people. We didn't have no business being there. We were dirt poor.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you were there.
I
That's
was
pretty
there, saw it. Yeah,
That's
it was
so neat.
So how long did you serve in the Navy?
4 years. I went over there. Let's see. I went in '75, and I went to San Diego for after boot camp for school,
Mhm.
and got into something I never really dreamed I just got placed there and it worked out and I was really good at it. It was awesome. And San Diego to me was the turning point in my life where I found out big cities are really cool.
Yeah.
You know? And we would every day was postcard, perfect weather.
Wow.
And we would go down and went down to Balboa Park, which was right by the zoo, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And we went into the historical part of it where they had this little museum. They had like Muhammad Ali's boxing gloves and all that crap. Man, I was just.
That's cool.
It was from a guy that was from Jinx, Oklahoma, that went to see something like that. That was a big deal. And one of the coolest places though I really saw was Broadway.
Oh.
I didn't go to a play,
Oh.
couldn't afford to do that, but I could afford to go down there and walk around, you know?
Uh-huh.
And you walk around and you look up and it was like it was cement to the skies, all the buildings.
Yeah.
And it was.
New York's an awesome town. I would have no desire to live there, but it's really fun to visit.
See, I envy you because you've been to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
Which
old and new.
Yeah, and I wondered,
Yeah.
that's the one place that I went and watched the Orioles play when they got Reggie Jackson for that 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, little pop-up fly right to the right field.
I actually got to see Reggie play as a Yankee.
Yeah,
in
I saw,
Yankee Stadium.
I saw him play as an Oriole, and he went out there and
Yeah.
there's a pop fly to right field, and he went over and right before it hit the ground, he dove, you know, to make it look like
More
he
dramatic.
was. Yeah,
Oh my
I said,
gosh.
Come on.
yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah, but I saw Reg. I saw Brooks Robinson. The whole deal. It was.
So, Pop, do you have any stories that you want to share?
Well, not really. I'm kind of enjoying this.
Okay.
You know, because I'm not big on talking about myself.
I know.
I'm not that outgoing. I don't do that. You know?
I know.
I like to stay in the background and watch people.
Yep.
Usually, you know, that's usually what I do.
In fact,
You
I
know?
just sent our daughter a selfie of me wearing my shirt that she got me for Father's Day. Because there's Pop in the background.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny. So you did the Navy thing, got out of that,
Yeah.
moved back to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Life.
Whole life went to shit for
Life happens.
10 years, probably. It just, I don't like talking about it.
Well,
But
that's fine. We don't have to talk
I
about it.
lived in hell. I lived in hell. I was there.
Yeah.
Damn near made a bad alcoholic out of me. But
Yeah.
I hated life. I hated living. I hated everything about it. And, you know, God put this woman in my life. She kicked my ass and put a foot in my butt and said, "You better straighten up and let's go do this." And I went and did that. And, you know, I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Yeah.
I just, it was a turnaround that, what can I say? I'm the happiest guy on earth today because of what she did for me, what she did to me.
Yeah.
Ate my ass out.
Yeah.
And put it, like I said, she put her foot deep in my ass and said, we're going to get this right. And
That was Mom for you.
Yeah. And didn't give up on you
exactly.
if you had a hiccup along the way or something.
Yeah.
Just didn't give
Yeah.
up. That's awesome.
Yeah, and when you meet a person like that does that for you, you know you can't, and then you have to sit and watch the shit that we watched.
Yeah.
You know, and all you can do is thank God that people like you walked into my life and said, "We're here, we're gonna help you.
Yeah.
You're not perfect, but we're gonna fix this," and we fixed it.
Well, there's only one perfect person. I mean,
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Whatever. So those of you, just a little backstory, we lost Mom in 2014 to cancer, and we went through hell watching her
Yeah.
go
And
through
we
that.
all sat and we fought like cats and dogs to make her live, and we fought with each other, and we fought with her, and we fought with anything that wanted to fight.
Yeah.
And we,
The last part was compartmental. I mean, I still just think about the last 2 months and
yeah,
really forget about the 2 years prior to that with her. I remember taking her sandwiches when she was at OU Medical. I'd
right,
go over on lunch and I'd
Right.
take her food and stuff like that and go visit with her. But she fought like hell until she just didn't have the strength to fight anymore.
Yeah.
But without her, we don't have this
right.
here, right now.
And her legacy, I assure you, from looking at my grandkids,
Yeah.
her legacy will live.
Yeah.
After I'm gone, after you're gone,
Yeah.
they will keep taking that and pushing it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
And she left a good one.
Oh God,
Yeah.
the fucker was crazy, but I loved her.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Have I ever told you the story about when I went?
Oh, good. I'm glad you're sharing this one.
Yeah, I had I was over in Tulsa for business, and I knew I was closing a deal for a client, and I knew I was going to be there late because I knew we were going to go to dinner afterwards and go celebrate and everything. So I was staying at your all's house, and so I go out with the client, and then my cousin calls me. He's like, "Hey, come on over, let's go party." So eventually what happens is I end up getting high. I mean, just baked. I'm in a 3-piece suit, baked. I was in Claremore, and you all lived over in
West
Yeah,
Tulsa.
way-
West Tulsa. So literally the furthest 2 points you
Yeah.
can be in Tulsa County. And that Claremore's not even in Tulsa County. But so I had to make my way all the way back over to 20 miles an hour. I wasn't driving, I didn't drive.
You walked.
I walked. Anyway, I got back at like 2:30 in the morning, whatever. Pam was waiting on me when I walked in the door. Because I had the key, I had your key, Christy, so I was able to get in. And here I am in my 3-piece, and I know I smelled
Yeah.
like Cheech and Chong, man. I know I did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that woman sat there and made me eat every bite of that dinner and asked me questions after question after question. And you know, when you're high, you get cotton mouth, right? So I couldn't get that food in. I'm sitting there trying to eat like as fast as I can.
So you could go to bed.
So, well, yeah.
And you
so-
wanted to get away from her because you
Yes.
were like, oh my God, she's gonna. Does she know? Does she
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. I
She
wasn't.
knew.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
She's so
There's
new.
no way
She grew
No,
up in the-
she was tuned in to
She was
everything.
torturing the shit out of me.
and she grew up in the 70s. Girl knew
Yeah.
how to get high.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. She just tortured the shit and never said a word.
60s, 70s.
Never said a word. I had to get up the next day and pack that nasty suit in my bag.
Gross.
Oh, I looked good. I had a 3-piece suit on,
Okay, this isn't about you.
but I had to smell like
I
a
know.
bar. And,
I told Chrissy, I may have already told this story, but I'll tell it again. I used to sneak out in my little garage, when I built that,
yeah,
and I went out there doing shit I wasn't supposed to be doing.
yeah.
And I come back in the house, and she's sitting in her recliner watching TV.
Wheel of Fortune.
Whatever.
Star Search.
Watching her stories.
Watching
Yeah.
her stories.
But there was a big sporting event on, and that's why I went outside and tried what I said was getting my mind right. I come in the house, and she looks at me, and she says, "You better sit your dumb ass down." Just like that. Sit your dumb ass down.
Oh.
And I couldn't help but to fall over laughing. Right? I
Big
couldn't-
mistake.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
mistake.
Oh, yeah.
She said,
Now you pissed her
yeah,
off.
yeah. So I said to sit your dumb ass down.
Oh,
I was rolling in the floor. She was pissed off as she could be. And all you can do is laugh. I mean,
My God.
oh my God, that's so funny.
Sit your
Of
books.
all the shit though, she was fun to be married to.
Sorry.
Yeah.
She would go out and do shit that she really didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm a bad antiquer.
Oh yeah.
You know, and she would try to act like she liked it.
It was
I just
pretty
made
cool
that
to have
up,
Pop
by
here
the
for
way.
Father's Day though, right?
It was neat.
It was.
Yeah. It was good.
For me, it was really awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
When
I'll be honest with you. Ever since my dad passed away, Father's Day has not been
No.
my favorite holiday.
Mother's Day's hard
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, even though you get celebrated as a mom or a dad, those when you lose that parent that you were close to or whatever.
Yeah. But see, I was thinking about this morning. For your two kids to know how much you loved your father and how great he was, and I thought my dad was the best ever.
You should.
You know,
I hope.
but I think they're going to take that, and they're going to know how important that dad is to making it a family.
Yeah.
Because dads are really important, and there's so many pretenders out there. There's not people like you left on this planet, Larry.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
You think there is?
There's a lot of good dads out there.
Man, I hope so. Because they're so important to a kid.
It's
A little ASMR by Larry Gribble.
my little eyes clinking. Sorry.
Drink your beer.
Drink
I think there's a lot of good dads. I know I've got several friends that I'm like, man, I wish I was as good a dad as they are. You know, it's
Well, guess what? They say the same thing about you.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
Not. I wish I was
No.
a good as dad because they know that they're good dads too.
Yeah,
They are just like, man, you are good.
yeah.
And they say it to both of us. You guys did something right. You guys
Oh,
did
yeah,
it.
yeah. See, and I get to watch.
Except neither one of my kids wanted to spend Father's Day with me yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Not true.
Oh no, wait, one of them did. Yeah.
He called in sick.
How did
Oops.
he?
He had
call
a
in
little.
sick,
He had a little cough. So we let him stay home.
He was not feeling like going to work yesterday. He didn't feel good.
Yeah.
Mainly because he wanted to stay with his daddy.
See,
That's-
that's when you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If he wasn't respecting you and shit, he wouldn't want to spend time with
No, I know they love me,
you.
and I know they love you,
Yeah.
and we both drive them a little bit crazy every once in a while, but that's
I do my best.
it's kind of the point, right?
supposed to.
You kind of want, the other thing I always tell you was you kind of want your kids to think you're a little bit crazy.
Oh, you gotta know, you gotta let them know you might kill them.
Yeah, right.
You gotta let them
Yeah,
know. that.
like I would never do it. But
Right.
you want them to think like,
Yeah.
my dad's a little bit crazy.
Yeah, I better not do
Yeah,
this.
but I was terrified. My dad was in the army. He was a ranger.
Yeah,
You're not messing with him.
I was not.
no.
And he still, even when I got bigger and stronger and faster than him, he
Yeah.
still like I was like, man,
Remember when you're 17 though, and you think you can whip the world?
oh yeah.
I remember challenging my dad, and I can't remember what it was over, and I said, well, you know, this has gone too far. And he said, well, come on outside. And he stepped off the porch and went out in the yard. And
That's
said,
when you know you're in trouble.
yeah, hey,
Uh-huh.
not me, I don't want that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'll pass. You're right, Dad. Sorry, love you. I'm gonna go to my room now and cry
Yeah.
myself to sleep.
Yep,
Oh
exactly.
my gosh, how funny.
But I think that I know that it's gonna. Well, you're probably past that point. You made that point where he's not gonna say, "I'm gonna kick your ass."
Who, him?
Yeah.
No, I think we're through that. We haven't
Yeah.
really had
Yeah.
a big.
The big one was 21. We had a big one.
I've had to alter my way of thinking about his future is his. I've just had to realize that his future is his future, and
Oh, okay.
not the one that I want for him. It's the one that he's going to build on his own.
Yeah.
And I can want a lot of things for him, but for him to get them, he's going to have to want them himself.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You can't, like Miss Jen
And
said,
that's where I was
you
going.
can't want more for your kids than they want for themselves.
Right.
And that's
we
a
all do.
hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I
Yeah.
want this. I want to give this to you. I want to make this happen for you. And you can't because they have to want it and they have to earn it.
There's
Have to
a,
do
I'm
it.
going to butcher this quote, but it's from John Adams. And he what he said was the crux of it is that his job is to set his kids up to be able to have more opportunity than he had.
Right.
So I have to study, my dad studied whatever, my dad studied, let's bring it into today's terms. My dad studied plumbing and electrical, how to be an electrician,
Right.
or drove a trash truck, or in my case, my dad drove a UPS truck
Right.
so that I could be a lawyer, so that I could own my own business. I own my own business, work all these hours, work really hard as a lawyer so that my kids could get the best
Yeah.
education in the country outside of the Ivy League. I mean,
Right.
and have the opportunities that both of them have laid out before them. And that's all you can do. And what John Adams did, he's like, I study war and politics so that my kids can study art. They can be artists. They can be
Right.
You want to set your kids up
they can be
to
whatever they want.
be better than what you were.
Yeah, take another ring up on the ladder.
Yes.
Or another rung up on the ladder. And I feel like we've done that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
We definitely have done that with both of them. They both have the opportunities to
Right. It's there.
do amazing things.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's now up to, we've given it to them. It's now up to them to build it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's give it up for Poppy.
You did great. It was awesome.
You did great. That
It's a good
commercial
story.
was awesome. Got
Yeah.
some good stories.
Yeah, thanks for indulging this.
Yeah, that was fun. The kids
Yeah.
will like that.
Yeah, if you don't listen to this one, you're an asshole.
Right. It's Poppy, guys.
Poppy.
It's Poppy.
This is Poppy's episode. You better listen to it.
All right. That's a wrap for Great Bullshit.
Drop the beat.